No, there's some great content creators out here. I okay, so I made it to champ again, and then I went after you took the kitty back. I went on a massive losing streak.
I saw that.
So I'm back down. I think in a diamond two, maybe diamond. No, I think it's still diamond two. I was just trying to brute force it. I was just like, let me play whatever I could play. But at that level, you're really up against the best of the
Yeah.
best in diamond trying to go for champion. And part of it was just like, okay, I was like, I need to go through this losing streak so I can get back to where I'm competitive again.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, I'm just not going to play the rest of the season, right? And so, actually, now I'm taking a break. That losing streak, I was like, okay, that's fine. Let me go ahead and just play on an alt account for the next couple of days and see how it goes.
I have a theory about that.
Mhm.
So I same thing happens to me. I went on a losing streak after I delegated you Kitty. Kitty spoils you big time, like
Yeah.
huge, like huge, huge, huge. And so it actually, I found this even with me, it makes you feel like a better player than you actually, right? And it's so OP, right? And even Yoden with the new cards that have come out,
Mhm.
it's definitely been tamed quite a bit, right? With the shield,
Yeah.
reflect shield. I mean, and people are using it, right? So if they see you're playing Yoden, you can guarantee you're going to see one of the reflect shield cards.
Okay, so I have a question for you
Sure.
because I I am curious. Ever since the beginning of my Splinterlands journey, right, or close to the beginning of my Splinterlands journey, I've always looked at Yoden as like the most OP, and I would say that market prices have somewhat dictated that
Yeah.
narrative as well, right? Like he's just usually towards the top. Kitty wasn't always. Now Kitty's kind of up there, and they're usually around the same. But having played with both of them, and now we've seen the balance that I don't want to call it a nerf because it's not a nerf to Yoden, but the
No, no.
balance has come to the game for Yoden. How do we balance Kitty? Is there a way?
Already.
Because by leaps and bounds, I could not do what I did. So that video where I posted where I spammed Byzantine Kitty, I could not do that with Yoden. I couldn't do that with Valnamore, right? Like and probably not. I mean, Llama's really only good at the lower levels, but it's like what how do you balance Kitty? Because I was shocked. I was shocked at the win streaks I was going on. And again, my cards are mostly Chaos Legion. So it's just Byzantine Kitty and a bunch of max Chaos Legion cards and Chaos Legion Rewards cards. And I was able to just brute force my way up to
Yeah.
the top with minimal losses here and there.
So I would say, if I had to guess, the best counter I think for Kitty is Quicks, right? So you
Okay.
take Quicks and then you add in Dr. Blight, same amount of mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, well, one mana more, right? But you add in Blight, so that gets rid of the heal, right? The tank heal, and it slows everything down just a little bit. But what makes Kitty really devastating is there's always something that's beneficial, right? So there's
Mm-hmm.
the 2 speed, right? Which even by itself would be phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Then you have was it True Shot or
True strike. That one is just
yeah, it's ridiculous. So the thing is, you typically attack first. You're guaranteed to hit, uh,
mm-hmm.
and if you take any damage, you get healed up, right? So, but there are strategies for killing it. Like typically, backline attacks are great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because once there's no team, it doesn't really matter
Doesn't
that
do
you have
anything, yeah.
one guy. But there are good strategies, right? And Kitty fits into just about everything. But yeah, but a mimosa is good, right? So mimosa will typically, handle the heal.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with death is it's a little bit slower, right? It's like mid-tier speed,
Yeah.
right? So you have to be able to have some resiliency in terms of being able to survive that first round.
Yeah.
Then after that, you typically you're okay, right? Once you kind of
The thing with death, at least in more recent, is you don't have any heals, right? Or I guess you have your self healers, but the
yeah.
corrupted Pegasus is the only kind of tank healer that you have in death. So if you can
And,
survive that first round, that'll
yep.
help.
Yeah, and then there's another one too. So the Tortoisan Chieftain, right? Which
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
a fan of. So and that's the reason why I think that card is great, right? Because you're able to apply healing where you typically wouldn't have a heal. So in
Mm-hmm.
fact, so yeah, is there a cure for Kitty? No, not right now. There really isn't.
Well, so my question, so it's great that there's some strategies, and then
Yeah,
the truth is that I've been able to beat Kitty in the past, right? There one offset I'll be able to. But I'm more curious about what kind of balance we would see in terms of maybe a new ability or what the new dragon summoner would have. Like, I mean, you can't make a dragon summoner like there's nothing that's opposite of True Strike, right? Which I think is probably one of the best abilities.
Yeah.
Like you could make the next dragon summoner have like a -2 speed, and then all of a sudden it's really just the opposite of Kitty. But there's nothing that takes away True Strike.
So my hope, right, for the next, like for example, Death Summoner would be to give everybody Life Leech, right? So that's just that one ability, and that's just
that would be so OP. It'd be so good,
right? So I didn't win to create a new summoner, but that's what I would have asked for.
That's what you would have done.
Absolutely. So we'll see. I think they're going to do some more balance in the future. So, in fact, we have more summoners coming out. So I think if you look at so far the new summoner, right, Wraith, or Wrath, let's go with Wrath. If you look at that one, right, it solves a lot of problems that the white team has, right, or life team has. So I think they're just going to go and do a lot of those, kind of look at weaknesses, look at the balance, and they'll pick something appropriate.
Yeah. I like the amplify built in, because then you don't have to put an amplify based monster too. That I think could be pretty big for it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of amplify, right? Because there's so many things with thorns and reflect. It just changes the game.